The meeting began as usual, reciting of the rules, explaining of why the rules had to be followed, consequences of the rules, ways to ensure people could follow the rules better, blah, blah, blah. This is where Precocious often found herself daydreaming. She was daydreaming about flying over the ocean, free as a bird, the sound of the waves beneath her, the calmness all around, the sound of birds flying next to her in a peaceful rhythm all together, the sun not too hot, not too cold as it touched her skin, flying, flying, flying in perfect peace. No meetings, no checkpoints, no scanners, no badges, no rules. Freedom, flying, flying, flying. Just then, she was snapped back into reality when the men rushed into the auditorium while a talk was being made on consequences of rule breaking. Men rushed in and barricaded the 3 exits. One of the men ran down the middle of the aisle toward the stage and jumped on stage. As he jumped on stage, Precocious recognized him as one of the men who had been in the heated debate with her father earlier. There were many men with them. They all had swords with them, demanding that all the people remain seated or else. Already she could see that at least 3 rules were broken. She knew the Ragers would be here soon. She could not understand what was happening. Why was the man blatantly putting his life at risk? She saw the look on her terrified mother's face as she turned to reassure her everything was okay. She could see in her mother's face she didn't actually believe this.
Listen up! I am not here to harm you. No one will get hurt. I have to tell you some very important...
The man was interrupted by Precocious's father.
You'll get us all locked up forever. Is this what you want?
Present screamed, attempting to rush the stage.
Someone bind him up, please. I have to tell him.
The man on stage ordered his men to grab and hold Present, who was not happy as he struggled to break free to no avail. 3 men held him and they hog-tied his mouth shut. Precocious could only watch in disbelief, in complete shock as to what was happening.
Listen up. I have to inform you. I don't have much time. I felt it was my duty to inform you. There was a man a long time ago who went to jail, and he made it out. And he was not the only case. It's all in this book. There were others. You see, the Wagers, Mr. Dethick, know this. But they want to keep you living in fear so that they can lock you up and you never try to even get out. As long as you live in fear.
Max, now! The man looked to the ceiling as if he was talking to someone there. And when he did, papers began to fall from the ceiling, and everyone in the auditorium picked them up and began to read them, or even to try to read them. Precocious picked up papers and shoved them into her clothes and underwear, her mother now fainting into the chair next to Precocious. Precocious quickly stuffed the papers into her shoes, her bra, her underwear, and then tended to her mother. This was all too much.
If you all read for yourself, you'll see that what I'm saying is true. A man was able to break free, and since that means that you have nothing to fear. The sooner you all realize that this Mr. Dethick will have no power over you, no Wager will be able to do anything to you. We were meant to be free. This power Mr. Dethick and his Wagers have has already been defeated. Listen to me.
Just then as the man was speaking, the doors to the auditorium burst open, and Mr. Dethick, walking in with many Wagers who they came in after him. They confiscated the swords from the men who came in and ordered that the 3 that had Precocious's dad untie him.
I tried to tell him to,
Present yelled as soon as his mouth was free, but he was cut off by Mr. Dethick himself.
Enough! Now you speak of a man who was able to break free from jail, from my jail. Where is this man? Or the others you spoke of? Where are they? Can you call them to appear before us all?
Mr. Dethick said in a cunning tone as he walked straight down the middle of the aisle right up onto the stage where the man was.
Well, no, I cannot bring this man here.
The man stammered.
Then why have you filled this people's head with a false hope?
I am ruler of this place, and I have been for centuries. I can assure you all, said Mr. Dethick as he paused to pick up a paper that was on the floor. Then he once again spoke.
No man woman, child, or beast has ever returned.
His face now red hot. Ever. Red hot, rolling in flames was the appearance of his face.
See for yourselves. Please, just read the papers. See,
the man said desperately to the crowd.
There really was a man that broke out, never to again go to this prison of Mr. Deathix. He drags us off too. There's a hope, he yelled, raising his fist in the air.
Mr. Deathix, now flabbergasted, addressed the man and the crowd.
Give the people proof. Where is this man? Why doesn't he show his face and tell the people face to face? Why does he need you to speak for him? Would any of you in the crowd be willing to risk your freedom for a myth of a man you've never seen, who never speaks and is nowhere to be found?
Mr. Deathix looked at the crowd. When he and Precocious locked eyes, she thought she would melt. The man looked quite intimidating. Her mother still laid on her seat, passed out. Precocious knew she dared not speak unless she was ready to be jailed today, never again to see her ma or pa again. Her father present, however, did not refrain from speaking.
Sir, with all due respect, let this man and his henchmen be taken away, and let the rest of us remain guilt-free. We had nothing to do with this man, please.
The crowd began to whisper with anticipation over what Mr. Deathix would actually do.
And if I do not let you all walk out of here today, who is to say you won't try to fill the rest of the city with what you heard today? Better for me to just be rid of you all now. Save the trouble, Mr. Deathix said in a cold manner, rubbing his beard. Please, we have children. Some woman yelled out.
Please, we have nothing to do with this madman. We don't want to be jailed. Someone else yelled out.
I'm trying to help you, to free you. Please understand, Mr. Deathix is a liar, a bully, and if you are afraid he is powerful, please. The man on the stage
pleaded with the people, looking through the crowd face by face. No one was feeling like listening to him, though. They were more concerned about saving their own tails.
Take him away, please, and let us go free, someone yelled.
Away with them! Away with them! Away with them!
The people began to yell.
Even presents joined in, which saddened Precocious very much. Her mother remained mute. She was disgusted by the way the people were more focused on saving their own lives than standing up for what's right. What if the man was telling the truth, and he risked his life to inform the people, knowing very well where he'd end up? Why would anyone do that if they were not sincere? Precocious stared at the crowd in disgust. I will not join in persecution, especially not someone who is simply trying to help me. Precocious thought to herself. Very well.
Wagers, please. Take this man and his fellow bandits away, Mr. Deathix said, as the crowd simmered down. Wait, no, what I am telling you is true. A man broke out. The man yelled as the wagers grabbed him and began to drag him away. It's true. Read for yourself. It's true. It's true. It's true.
The man screamed as he was carried away, straight out the auditorium doors.